Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League Season 5, Round 3 out of 20 here at Twin Ring Motegi once again. But we're not on the road course this time. We are on the oval for 200 kilometers, 125 miles. As let's get ready to go through the field and see where they start today's race. So, starting back in row 14 by himself, unfortunately, will be the number 95 of Nico Hulkenberg. Didn't have the speed in qualifying, so a lot of work to do today. Uh, he will be starting in the last row, unfortunately, for barbershop haircut racing. Then we move up to row 13. Miles Rowe will be on the outside, and surprisingly, Shane Van Gisbergen, with an issue in qualifying, went below the white line on both of his laps and lost a lot of speed. He's going to be starting all the way back in 25th, so we're going to have to see if he can claw his way through the field, but a disappointing qualifying effort puts him behind. Then on the outside of row 12, we have Tinkle McStinkle, and then on his inside, Dawa Tenzin. And then as we move up to row 11, Mahavir Raghunathan just got the best result for Team Canada Dry. He's placed one spot ahead of his teammate, Dawa Tenzin. Going to be deep in the field. Also deep in the field is your Motegi road course winner, Louis Foster. Last time out, won. He sits third in the championship, 3 points back, but had issues in qualifying. Qualified 21st, has a lot of work to do. 20th is Stingray Rob. He's one of the drivers that has raced here before. He's going to be deep in the field. And then your points leader, Francesco Draconi, started his first lap fast, but lost a lot of speed on his second lap, and that made him lose plenty of spots. So your points leader also starting deep today in 19th. Row 9 on the outside, Brennan Hubbard, new to the Motegi road course, but is good on the ovals. He qualified 27th at Michigan and clawed his way up to third. Gonna have to see what he can do today. Then Devlin DiFrancesco gonna be on the inside, coming off a 12th at the road course. Now we move up to row 8. Benjamin Peterson just came off a 6th, so he's feeling pretty good. And then Glover Lord with his best qualifying effort of the season, a season that hasn't started in the best of ways. He's going to be starting from 15th. Alessio Deletta for his second race in a row starts 14th. He did get up to first last race, but spun out, finished 15th. So hopefully today goes better. And then Lawless Allen gets his best qualifying effort so far in his rookie season. Up to row 6, we have the number 18 of Robbie Lore being very consistent, staying around that 8th to 12th range so far this whole season. He's been the best Ford, but was not the best Ford in qualifying. That goes to David Malukas, who's going to be starting in 11th with his best qualifying effort of the season. We know he's good at the ovals, so he may be good today. Ethan Martz with another good qualifying effort. He will start 10th. Hopefully it goes better than it did at Michigan. Then Lindsey Brewer going to be qualified from 9th. Looking for a good race today. Up to row 4, Ryan Preece. Not quite the speed he wanted in qualifying. It's been a difficult start to the season, so hopefully he can get some good momentum here. Then Chet Jordan, he's qualified second the first two races, so 7th, a little bit of an outlier, as he sits 4th in the championship. Up to row 3, Connor Zilich. So far, also had a rough start to the season, just wants to get in some good points today. Then Dorian Pin to his inside, currently 6th in the championship. Then we move up to row 4, Guy Gagné. Very good start to the season. He's second in points, down by 2. He's going to be starting from 4th, so look for him to do big moves today. And then Justin Allgaier once again starts in row 2, this time on the inside. And hopefully he can get some good results, because his qualifying's been good, but the race pace just hasn't been there. Nolan Siegel will tie his best qualifying effort, starting from 2nd, row 1 on the outside. Very good laps, but not good enough to beat Marcus Armstrong, who gets his 5th career pole, 2nd of the season. But will he be able to convert today? Because he wasn't able to at Michigan. So we're still in Motegi, 119 miles, 80 laps, sim time, March 29th at 2 p.m. You see your driver standings. Draconi still leads by 2, but he's going to be starting deep in the field, so Gagne could gain some good spots. And then Viking Racing is your team's points leader. They've got 3 cars practically lined up with Gagne, Zilich, and Siegel. So they're going to be making some big moves at the start, and we are going to have to see what kind of pace they have. So your starting grid, once again, scrolling across the top of your screen. Let's take a quick look at the weather. March 29th, 2 p.m. Wind speed of 44 miles per hour. That is ridiculously high. 65 degrees, so it is a cold track. 72% humidity, overcast. 73 track temp. Going to be very racy, but very, very dicey. We've raced here at Motegi before. It was won by Tom Blomqvist from Swindlers of the Immortals, but he is not in the field, so we will get a new winner at Motegi. Well, at least on the oval, Louis Foster could make it double, but he's going to be deep in the field. So a lot to play out as we get ready to go green. Marcus Armstrong, for the second time this season, will lead us to green. As the green flag is out, here at the Motegi 200K. Gets a good jump, but here comes Justin Allgaier looking for second. Very quick into the turn, but Siegel's going to have the run on the outside. Siegel going to try to look low in the turn. You have to decelerate very much in that turn, as they are all packed up at the front here. Siegel going to be very high in the turn. The pace is probably a little bit back down from what we saw in qualifying yesterday due to how high the wind is, as here comes Nolan Siegel on the inside for the lead. Very racy so far. The tires are going to kick in. Going to be interesting to see what happens there, as Siegel very high in the turn once again, as Chet Jordan has already made his way up to second. Let's look at the dashboard and see what speeds they're pulling. Still pulling about 230 coming into the turns, but back all the way down to about 150. Single filed out just a little bit up at the front now. It's not going to be as crazy as some of the other races this season. Still going to be very racy. Justin Allgaier has to back out as Connor Zilic goes up the inside to take fourth position. He's up a couple spots from the start. Shane Van Gisbergen, your pole sitter, not moving forward. He's all the way back in 25th. And these oval races hurt him a lot last season, but there is a lot of traffic back here. So he may just need to wait for that to settle down before he can really start moving forward. Connor Zilic trying to look around the high side of Nolan Siegel, but here comes Chet Jordan for the lead. Currently sits fourth in the championship. If he can win here, he could exit the points leader. He's been the points leader early on in the season before. That was back in season 3, but here comes Nolan Siegel on the inside. Viking Racing and Silly Men Racing. Their team owners had a little trash talk before the race. Some accusations of cheating as well. But right now, Silly Men Racing 1-2, Viking Racing 3-4. Justin Allgaier runs in 5th and Ryan Preece in 6th. Lubler Lord got a good start. He's up 16th to 11th. Louis Foster just trying to claw forward, but not really being able to. Brennan Hubbard, he's dropped back a few spots. He's down to 21st. Connor Zilic got by Nolan Siegel. He's running in 3rd. Has not won on an oval, but has had pace on them before. As Justin Allgaier tries looking to the inside of Nolan Siegel, but can't get by. Siegel on the high side of Connor Zilich, as Zilich now has Allgaier on his outside. Turn 1 and 2, very rounded, and pretty flat. You can go pretty fast through them, but 3 and 4, very tight. Pretty much have to break into them, as Allgaier now up to third. This is a good battle going on here, but Chet Jordan and Marcus Armstrong continue to battle for the lead. Chet Jordan has raced at Motegi before, all the way back in season 2, and it went pretty good. 5th place, most laps led, as right now sitting in second, not bad at all. As Justin Allgaier's kind of gotten a little bit away from this group of Zilich and Siegel, who continue to battle. Viking Racing looked good in testing. Zilich looked a little bit better than Siegel, but Siegel having a better start to the season results-wise. Zilich better qualifying-wise, so better pace, but has not been able to execute. Francesco Draconi, your points leader, he's from 19th to 12th, so he's on the move. Glubler Lore, 16th to 9th, he's also moving forward. Lindsey Brewer, 9th to 8th. But things just getting settled in a little bit. Tire wear going to be a big factor today. You're looking to make it over lap 40 to get to the end safely. Armstrong has 2 wins before, both on tracks under 1.5 miles. This one basically about 1.5, but races more like a short oval with how narrow 3 and 4 are mainly. But it's been a difficult start to the season. 26th and a 13th renders him 19th in points. Not at all what he would have wanted. But maybe he can start turning it around today, as here's Nolan Siegel looking at Justin Allgaier. Gonna try to peak high. All that track width, but just not enough room. He's making a move to the inside. Here's the view from Zilich, who has Brian Priest to his inside. This is some good aggressive racing going on for 3rd and 5th. Zilich doesn't want to lose out to Priest, one of his championship rivals last season. But unfortunately, Priest going to go by, as we have a battle for the lead. Chet Jordan gets a run on the inside, and he's going to nearly make the pass. Armstrong going to get the run off the turn, and he's going to stay in front, but Chet Jordan not willing to be a nice teammate. We're about half a lap away from lapped cars. They will be a factor eventually, but not quite yet. Miles Rowe and Nico Hulkenberg not super fast as of now. Shane Van Gisbergen has not moved forward. He's planted in 25th. As Siegel going to go around the outside and take 3rd back from Justin Allgaier. But Chet Jordan, he's on the move again to the inside in turn 1. Oh, but gets a little bit on the white line, and that's going to allow Armstrong to get a good run off the turn. These two Silly Men racing cars, very aggressive in battling up here. Allgaier and Siegel still battle for 3rd. The top 8 have kind of broken away from the rest of the grid, which is kind of just one huge clump at this point. As Siegel back into 3rd. Zilich and Priest side by side still. As Priest now gonna clear himself into 5th. Zilich Don't be surprised if he fights back very quickly. Louis Foster still has not moved. He's sitting 22nd. Shane Van Gisbergen in 24th. A very rough start so far. But their teammate Justin Allgaier, their rookie teammate, gets onto the white line. That's going to allow Siegel to stay on the high side and keep third place as we have a battle for the lead once again. Chet Jordan bold on the inside, but Armstrong just continuously gets the better run off the turn. Already a quarter of the way into this race, as these two have broken away from everyone else. So right now it's looking like a 1-2. These two have continuously gone back and forth for third, and these guys continue to battle. Now Dorian Pinn taking a look at Connor Zilich and will slot into sixth as of now. Dorian Pinn now trying to look for fifth as Nolan Siegel and Justin Allgaier still have not gotten this settled. And I really don't think they'll quite settle it until someone gets close to them and tries to make it a three-person battle that may allow one person to escape, whoever's at front at the time. Chet Jordan not quite clinging on to Armstrong as well as he was earlier, 6/10 back. Still pretty close, anything can happen. You have a couple car breakaway. Draconi, Glubler, Martz have gotten away as Lawless Allen and Robbie Lohr battle for 12th. Guy Gagné has dropped all the way back to 15th, so far not being a great run for him. So 6/10 of battle for the lead. These two will not give in. The Siegel does clear, but Allgaier is going to do the crossover going into turn one. Armstrong and Jordan starting to close in on lap traffic of Nico Hulkenberg and Miles Rowe. All Viking racing cars are lower than where they started. All have dropped back. As Allgaier gonna try to run him up the track just a little. Siegel and Zilich have only dropped one place, whereas Gagné and Hubbard have just been swamped. Hubbard 18th to 24th, Gagné 4th to 15th, biggest loser so far, down 11 spots. Lucas and Robbie have also dropped a good amount of spots, as Siegel around the outside. Meanwhile, Chet Jordan has closed back in to Marcus Armstrong, back within 4/10 now. Lap cars just a little bit up the road. Really gonna have to see how they can fight through. Pin has gotten by and cleared for 5th. So Priest and Zilich now battle for 6th back here. Lindsey Brewer has just been hanging on to the end of this draft train in 8th. Hasn't really made a lot of moves forward. Started 9th, currently running in 8th, so gain of 1 spot. Foster and Van Gisbergen have gotten to the front of their groups. Still not a lot of movement going forward. As Brendan Hubbard tries to make a move to the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen. Priest gonna clear Zilich for 6th, as Allgaier and Siegel still battle, but Dorian Pin has closed in. Finished 4th on the road course. Whoa, big crossover. Siegel all over the place. It is difficult to hold your line as Marcus Armstrong and Chet Jordan have linked up to each other, and they're about to go through lap traffic. We're going to have to see how they go through this, because this could determine which of them will be the better. It seems like it's going to be a silly men battle for the win, but there's still a lot of time left. But 4 seconds to the good. Marcus Armstrong going to look around the outside and is going to get by the number 95 without much difficulty. Going to have to see if Chet Jordan can do the same, or if Marcus Armstrong will be able to just drive away from him. A little difficult. 95 not going to be able to drive back, had a little twitch in the middle of the corner. Very twitchy, these cars, as Dorian Pin has climbed up to 3rd. Has gotten by both Allgaier and Siegel. So far having an amazing start to the season compared to last time. And would love to be first in points out of her team after basically being third fiddle, third string, if you want to say it like that, but would love to be the best out of her team as Van Gisbergen and Foster continue to struggle today. Armstrong once again in a lapped car. This time it is the number 37 as Miles Rowe will go a lap down. Chet Jordan has lost Marcus Armstrong. 1.7 seconds now to the good. As this group has clumped up together, we're coming up on about halfway. Siegel gonna go to the inside. Allgaier gonna hold the outside and will get the advantage off the run of the turn. Siegel gonna try to make a look on the inside, but not able to get there. Guy Gagné all the way down in 21st. Something is wrong in that number 90 car. It lacks significant pace. Here comes Nolan Siegel to the inside. Allgaier with the run off the turn, but not quite able to get there. Siegel currently in 3rd, as Chet Jordan has been left in the dust. 3 seconds back as Marcus Armstrong has taken off. Now starting to be in his own little space, but he is coming up on the group that has Shane Van Gisbergen and Louis Foster, along with Tinkle McStinkle and Brendan Hubbard. So 4-car group, this one's going to be a little bit harder to get through. It's not quite up to him yet, but getting close. Chet Jordan slowly closing in on Miles Rowe. Allgaier and Siegel continue to battle. This group of 5, very close and dicey. So far, doesn't seem to be much going for a win. Currently going for 3rd. But they have closed in a little bit on Chet Jordan, who is now only 3 seconds up the road from him. Justin Allgaier's gotten in the draft a little bit of Nico Hulkenberg, who's pulling him along. Priest has gotten up to 4th. Allgaier can get by this 95 quickly. He might be able to try to break the draft of these guys. He's going to go to the inside. And Hulkenberg's going to be on the high side. He's not going to make this easy. As here comes Ryan Priest to the inside looking for 3rd. Ryan Preece now going to be in third. Marcus Armstrong has really now caught this group. Chet Jordan now only up by 2 seconds. On the group behind, he has not been able to get by Miles Rowe yet, as Armstrong going to go to the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen. That's one down. Now he's going to try to split the middle of McStinkle and Foster. No draft help. He's going to fall in line with McStinkle as Foster's going to be on the high side. Foster's going to be able to go around. Chet Jordan finally by Miles Rowe. Took a lot longer than he had wanted. Armstrong still gaining time despite being in traffic. Brendan Hubbard kind of got away a little bit from everyone else, but still running in 20 seconds. Still a pretty disappointing day by anyone's standards. He's going to get by on the outside, so he has that group lapped. Chet Jordan now only up on this group by a second. Something is really slowing that 24 car down. It may be his tires. He may have started too strong and is really struggling to hang on. So he may be one of the first cars that we see bail into the pits. You're safely within the window to make it home on one stop, but you are still going to have to stop regardless. Matter of when, not if. As Ryan Preece gets by Miles Rowe, and now he's going to chase after Chet Jordan. Marcus Armstrong now working on Guy Gagné, who's dropped way back. As here comes Ryan Preece looking for second. He's going to go to the inside. Chet Jordan now really struggling on the tires. He's going to need to pit soon. But Ryan Preece now up into second. Going to have to see if he can pull away. So far, Preece, Jordan, and Allgaier are all by Miles Rowe. Siegel currently working on him as he will get by now. As Justin Allgaier around the outside of Chet Jordan, he makes it look easy. And Jordan not going to have fight into the turn. That 24 needs to pit soon. As I think that... Oh, that wasn't then. It looked like he was pulling off, and he just lost a ton of time. And he is going backwards. You're the crew chief. You are desperately yelling at the 24, trying to get him to come into pit road. Zilich has a look at Brewer, who's gotten up to 7th, got by Zilich. There's just no speed in that turn for Chet Jordan. He is struggling bad. Armstrong in the lead by 7.5 seconds. Jordan gonna have to run off this turn. As Marcus Armstrong gonna be the first one to bring us into the pits. He's gonna be safe on fuel and tires, it should seem, as Shane Van Gisbergen gonna be lapped by this group. Rough day for that number 1 team. Chet Jordan still gonna stay out, but still losing time. Ryan Preece and Allgaier, your leaders. Nolan Siegel in third now. The only problem Armstrong could have is if a yellow flag came out now. 6.4 second pit stop and he is on his way. Preece leads by 0.4. No one else has came in yet. I think Shane Van Gisbergen desperately struggling on the tires. It's making his case even worse as we see Marcus Armstrong pull out. He's currently down in 24th, but on the undercut, he'd be ahead. as Ryan Preece, Justin Allgaier, Nolan Siegel, and Chet Jordan come in. Dorian Pinn stays out. She's going to be the leader, followed by Brewer and Zilich. Glubler, he's going to come in ahead of his group. Not going to have drafting help, but going to be ahead if the undercut does prevail, which we expect it to. Chet Jordan really needed to come in sooner based on the speed he had. Ryan Preece, 7.2 second pit stop. Allgaier, 6.8. A little bit quicker as Pinn will bring us into the pits. Ethan Martz, your highest car that has not pit. So we're going to have to see where Armstrong is. He is well ahead. Ryan Preece, the first car out in his group, followed by Allgaier, Siegel, Jordan. Glubler isn't too far back, so he's having a good run so far. Ethan Martz, he's going to come in. Pretty much everyone coming in around the same time. DeFrancesco is going to come in, so Dawa Tenzin going to be leading his first ever lap in the Open Wheel Offline League. Yes, it's under a pit stop cycle, but still, leading a lap is leading a lap. A lot still to play for, but Preece ahead of Allgaier by over a second. As Pinn and Zilich going to be ahead of Siegel, who's dropped back a good bit. Chet Jordan has lost a few spots. He's going to be ahead of Miles Rowe here, which is what he needed. Didn't need the lapped car in the way. Marcus Armstrong in the traffic of Alessio Deletta, but he's going to nearly get by. Not quite there yet. This is for 19th. 8-second advantage over Ryan Preece. That is just massive, as Dorian Pinn has gotten by Justin Allgaier. 24 to go. As Stingray Rob going to come out right with Armstrong and Deletta, but Armstrong's going to be able to get by. Nothing in his way today. Ryan Preece, second, looked to be a second place at the Motegi road course, but couldn't make it to the end. Right now it looks pretty good. This is the battle for third. Pinn and Allgaier, Swindlers of the Immortals teammates. Looking like they are going to go back and forth on fresh tires, so should be a little racier. Chet Jordan kind of on his own island now, lost a significant time on the tires. There's still very much a ways to 9th and 10th, which is Glubler and Draconi, both having very good days today. Draconi looks like he's probably going to keep the points lead with where he's running. He's now in 9th. Glubler drops back to 10th. Ethan Martz running down 11th. He needed a good run. Armstrong still up by 8 seconds as Preece is into the wall hard. And he is going to come down the track as Allgaier has to check up. Ryan Preece hard into the wall. Tried passing, I believe that was McStinkle in the 53. Is he going to be able to wheel it into pit lane? A rough start to the season for Ryan Preece is going to end. Well, this race at least. Gonna end with a tire off and Armstrong's lead gonna be eviscerated. As let's see how that happened. Had issues lapping cars in the past, at least as of last season. Looks to be inside of McStinkle. Then he's gonna have a run on the outside, and McStinkle may have came up just a little bit. This one may have not been on him. Go back and see. So Priest gonna look to the high side here. And Stinkle, oh, he's just gonna come up in the 64, nowhere to go. Tough break. But nothing he could have done there besides just assume. So the car that should get lapped back is Devlin DeFrancesco in 14th, should be the lucky dog. Marcus Armstrong gonna be ahead here. Lap car is gonna go to the back. Dorian Pinn now gonna be up to second. Nolan Siegel third. Zillage fourth. Brewer fifth. Jordan sixth. Allgaier had to slow down a lot as no Allgaier is actually gonna be ahead of Jordan. Allgaier had to really back out of it to make sure he didn't hit Ryan Preece as Preece came down the track. Triconi, Glubler, Martz is your top 10. 14 cars on the lead lap as DeFrancesco getting his lap back. Last season, 6 DNFs for Ryan Preece. He's already going to have his second to start this season. 15th in points entering the race, and it's not going to look much better after this one. A lot to play for on this restart. A little bit of used tires, so if anyone comes in, try to change tires, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to come in. As we will be going green with 15 to go. Marcus Armstrong looking for his first win of the season, third of his career, has very much looked like the dominant car. Only guy that's really been close to him is Chet Jordan, who's struggling as of recent, but he did very good on the start at the beginning of the race. So we'll have to see if he can come back and try to contend, or if he's just going to go backwards. Dorian Pinn, Nolan Siegel, Connor Zillage, all hungry for a good result here. Been nearly a season or over a season since any of these guys have won. Siegel hasn't won since season 2, Pinn not since season 3, Zillage only has one win. As green flag is back out here at Motegi. Little accordion in the back of the field, pretty close together. Armstrong gonna get a good jump, but Siegel has a good jump on Dorian Pinn here for second. As Dorian Pinn's gonna go high, and that's gonna allow Nolan Siegel to go to the inside and get by. Pinn gonna have to run off the turn though, but Marcus Armstrong already trying to get away. Siegel on the inside of Dorian Pinn. Connor Zillage up here in fourth. He's looking for a podium. Gaps already forming throughout the field. Jet Jordan not moving forward as much as he would have liked. He's going to drop down to 9th now, maybe even 10th, as Justin Allgaier battles Lindsey Brewer for 5th. Brewer looking for his second top 5 of the season. Allgaier looking for his first career top 5. Connor Zilic running in 4th. So far his best result of the season if he can make it hold. Louis Foster's gained a lot of spots. He's up to 17th. Had a very good restart. So he's really starting to move through the field. But the ceiling is 15th unless a yellow flag comes out and he can get the lucky dog. Brewer and Allgaier still battle side by side. But Brewer going to be in 5th. Finished 4th at Michigan, a disappointing 22nd at the Motegi road course. But trying to rebound here. Allgaier going to go back to the inside. Armstrong leads by 1.2 seconds. Louis Foster now in the lucky dog position. He's hoping a yellow flag comes out. Lubler looking on Francesco Draconi for 7th. Draconi going to be way high in the turn, and he's nearly going to lose it. And that's going to allow Ethan Martz to try to come up on the inside. Martz, the highest Toyota running today. I don't think there's a single Ford in the top 10. Yeah, your highest running Ford is going to be Robbie Lord down in 13th. As Dorian Pinn and Nolan Siegel battle for 2nd, Siegel going to get passed on the inside. We're going to have to see if Siegel can fight back. 9 to go. Still a lot to play for. Here comes Nolan Siegel on the inside. Armstrong almost 2 seconds up the road. It's going to be tough to beat him. But these two, any point could matter. Dorian Pinn, best result last season was a 2nd at Indy. So if she can start whoa, Nolan Siegel all over the place, and that is going to allow Connor Zilic to come up and get by the 43 and maybe the 19 as well. An aggressive move from the 19 nearly costs him dearly, but these three have a good battle for 2nd and 3rd going on. Lawless Allen currently looking at his first top 10. He runs in 9th. Dorian Pinn going to be on the high side. Outside of Indy, this is our last oval race until New Hampshire, race 13. So, if you're an oval specialist, you're going to have to wait a very long time. Really try to get these positions in now. As Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier now battle as Siegel goes back to the inside of Dorian Pinn. Lubler looking at 7th. This would be a great result for him. We know he's quick here at Motegi. He's finished well here before. As Zilic going to go to the inside of Pinn, but she's going to have to run off the turn. Armstrong going to bring us to 4 to go now. As there goes Pinn to the inside. Siegel, he's going to twitch a little and stay high as he's going to lose out the position here. But just like that, he's going to cross over and go to the inside, and he's already going to get 2nd back. But Pinn may have the run off the turn. Where do you want to be on the final lap as Pinn not able to get there? Had to check up a little. Exiting. 3 to go. Jet Jordan just fell out of the top 10. Now in 11th. So he won't be the points leader after this race. I don't even know who will be at this point. Maybe Dorian Pin. Actually, no, it'd still be Francesco Draconi, who's running in 8th. 3 straight top 10s to open your career is very good. Dilic battles for 5th here. The battle for 2nd still goes on. But Marcus Armstrong going to lead us to the white flag. As Pin is going to pass Siegel to the inside, and Allgaier is going to follow. Nolan Siegel, big wiggle off the turn, and he may have just lost out on the podium entirely. Zilic has the run for 5th going on right now, though, as Marcus Armstrong will come off turn number 4 and win the Motegi 200. And it is going to be a Swindler 2-3 as Pin finishes 2nd, Allgaier 3rd. But Marcus Armstrong put on a clinic today. I think led nearly every lap. As let's take a look at your final results. Marcus Armstrong started first, finishes first. Then on the last lap, Dorian Pin will slide by to get her, well, at least tied for best result at Swindlers of the Immortals, will finish 2nd. Justin Allgaier will get his first career podium as he finishes in 3rd place. Nolan Siegel, heartbreaking to lose out on the podium. He got a podium at the last lap at Motegi, but will lose out on a podium on the last lap on the oval. But luckily, Connor Zilic will get a top 5 as he finishes in 5th, his first top 5 and first top 10 of the season. Lindsey Brewer, very good day, will finish in 6th. Glubler Lore, with a very impressive run, he'll finish in 7th. Francesco Draconi, 19th to 8th, as I believe he'll take the points lead still. And then T-Megs, not what they wanted for Ryan Priest, but Lawless Allen and Ethan Martz will get double top 10s. First top 10 for Lawless Allen in his career, and Ethan Martz will have his first top 10 since Mid-Ohio his win last season. Chet Jordan unfortunately going to lose out just barely as he will finish 11th, lose out on by about half a tenth. Mahavira Gunathan will finish 12th, so he's having a pretty solid season so far. Robbie Lore, 13th. Then Devlin DeFrancesco, last car in the lead lap, will finish 14th. Louis Foster didn't look alive the whole race until the restart. Made his way up to 15th, but just still 1 lap down, so couldn't move any forward. Alessio Deletta will finish 16th, 1 spot lower than he did at the road course. Dawa Tenzin will finish 17th. Brendan Hubbard will start and finish at 18th. Guy Gagne, rough day, 4th to 19th, purely on pace. That's going to hurt. David Malukas, a rough day as well. He'll finish 20th. Stingray Robb, 21st. Benjamin Peterson, 22nd. Shane Van Gisbergen not able to move forward. He'll finish in 23rd. Miles Rowe, 24th. Nico Hulkenberg, 25th. Tinkle McStinkle, rough start to his return. He's going to be 26th. Then Ryan Priest caught up in lap traffic once again. It's been a reoccurring story as both times here at Motegi, he finishes last and causes the only yellow of the day. So that is it here from Motegi. Look at those trees. It was a windy day, a lot of twitchy cars, but a little bit of a strange weekend. Had to start on Saturday, race on Sunday. Up next will be an unusual track where we are going to the Bend in Australia for the first time. Second largest track that we've ever been to outside of Le Mans. It's the largest at just under 5 miles. It's going to be an interesting race weekend. Qualifying begins on Tuesday, and then the race will be on Wednesday as this season just is getting underway. And I'll see you guys